My childhood sweetheart thought I was too clingy. So when I got into a car accident and lost my memory, she seized the opportunity. Pointing to her gorgeous roommate, the campus beauty, she said, "This is your girlfriend." Completely oblivious, I cupped the campus beauty's face and French kissed her for a full 10 minutes. Her cheeks flushed crimson, but she didn't push me away. A month later, my childhood sweetheart, her eyes red, cornered me against a wall. She gripped my chin and demanded, "Why haven't you come to see me at all?" I glanced over at the campus beauty waiting patiently for me. My voice was filled with confusion. "I have a girlfriend now. Why would I need to see you?" After discovering my girlfriend was getting cozy with an upperclassman, I got into a car accident on my way to confront her. The blow to my head caused temporary amnesia. In the last moment before I blacked out, my mind was fixated on the video I had just received. The video was shot in a dimly lit karaoke bar where a group of college students were partying in a private room. My girlfriend Olivia was there. She was completely wasted. She was leaning against a handsome guy. He had his arm around her waist, a look of adoration on his face as they stood close together in the dim light. Olivia made no move to pull away. I heard someone off to the side ask, "Olivia, should we call your boyfriend to come get you?" Olivia, holding her drink, waved a dismissive hand. "No, definitely not," she slurred. "If he comes, he'll drive me crazy. It was hard enough sneaking out without him knowing. I can finally get some peace. I've never met anyone so annoying in my entire life." Someone anonymously sent the video to my email. I opened it and watched it over and over, unable to believe that this was how Olivia saw me. Olivia and I were childhood sweethearts. We officially started dating in high school and were seen by everyone as the perfect couple since our families were well matched, and we were only a year from graduation. My parents had already started talking about buying us a house in Portland and planning our wedding for after we finished school. In the video, after Olivia said those things, the upperclassman next to her seemed to casually fan the flames. "No way. You and your boyfriend have been together for years. I thought you two were solid." Then I watched as Olivia looked up and let out a self-deprecating laugh. Do I even have the right to complain? Forget his parents. If I even dare to suggest breaking up, my own parents would kill me. Everyone envies our relationship, but to me, it feels like a cage. Sometimes I'm so jealous that you guys can date whoever you want in college while I'm stuck with him. At that point, I silently turned off my phone. I thought our love was deep, but it turned out that in her eyes, I was just a burden she couldn't shake. At the end of the video, a cool female voice cut in, tinged with irritation. That's enough. But I couldn't focus on that. I was determined to take this video to Olivia and confront her. Ethan, am not the type to beg. If Olivia felt I was a cage, then I would set her free. But as I was riding my bike through an intersection, a car ran a red light and hit me. Dazed and dizzy, I slowly opened my eyes to a throbbing headache. I could hear a doctor nearby, speaking to someone. He's incredibly lucky to be thrown that far by a car and only have minor injuries. It's a good thing he was wearing a helmet. A cool voice, though trembling slightly, spoke up from beside me. Then why was he bleeding? He has a minor head wound, which is to be expected. It's not serious. We've treated it here, but we'll need to see how he is when he wakes up. Then another female voice chimed in, laced with impatience. When is he going to wake up? I have somewhere to be. I can't wait here all day. It was at that exact moment that I opened my eyes. Seeing my eyes open, the woman quickly called out, "Doctor, he's awake." I stared at the woman in front of me, my mind foggy from the pain. "Who are you?" I watched as her expression shifted from excitement to surprise, and then to something strange I couldn't quite place. "I'm Olivia." The flicker of concern that had crossed her face vanished. She gave an awkward laugh, took a step back, and pushed the other woman forward toward my bed. I turned to look at this other woman. She had a cool demeanor, but her beautiful almond eyes were filled with worry as she looked at me. "This is Chloe. She's your girlfriend. I'm her roommate and your neighbor. I came with her when we heard you were in an accident." The air in the room seemed to freeze. I saw the woman, Chloe, snap her head toward Olivia, her eyes flashing with anger. But Olivia just nudged her arm and shot her a look. Chloe's hand clenched into a fist, then relaxed. She ignored Olivia, kneeling by my bed and asking softly, "How are you feeling? Does your head still hurt?" I nodded, but the movement pulled at my wound, and I winced in pain. "Don't move." Her voice was sharp with urgency. "You'll aggravate the wound." I blinked and opened my mouth, my voice raspy. "You my girlfriend?" I saw a flicker of hesitation in Chloe's eyes as she opened her mouth to reply. But before she could say a word, Olivia jumped in. "That's right. She's your girlfriend, Chloe. You stay here with your boyfriend. It looks like Mark needs me for something urgent, so I'm going to head out." With that, she rushed out and closed the door behind her as if fleeing from a monster. After Olivia left, Chloe turned to me, hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Yes, I'm your girlfriend." I didn't dare move my face too much, afraid of aggravating my head wound. So, I just gave a small smile and reached out to gently place my hand over Chloe's. "I'm thirsty." Chloe had a cool, reserved beauty. Where her face was neutral, she seemed almost unapproachable. Her personality matched her looks. She was a bit quiet and didn't talk much, but she was surprisingly attentive, helping me sit up, giving me water, and peeling an apple for me, even cutting it into small, easy-to-eat pieces. Her care was so detailed that the nurse on her rounds couldn't help but tease us. "Your girlfriend seems quiet, but she's really good at taking care of you." Hearing the compliment, Chloe's expression didn't change, but she watched me intently as I ate the fruit she had prepared. The doctor explained that my memory loss was due to a blood clot in my brain caused by the impact. But he said it wasn't serious and that my memory should fully return within a month at the latest. All I knew was that Chloe and I were in the same major at the same university. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about her being my girlfriend. For instance, when we watched a movie on the small TV in my room, I'd instinctively reach for her hand or try to snuggle closer to her. But the first time I pulled her into an embrace, I felt her entire body go rigid, as if she wasn't used to it at all. When I glanced up, I noticed the tips of her ears were bright red, as if they'd been burned. "Chloe, how long have we been together?" Chloe froze for a second before answering quietly. 3 years. I was confused. If we'd been together for 3 years, why did she still get shy every time I held her hand? A week after I woke up, the woman who called herself my neighbor and Chloe's roommate showed up in my hospital room again. The doctor had just cleared me for discharge, and Chloe was dutifully packing up my belongings. She was the one who had brought all these things for me on my first day in the hospital. I was lounging on the bed watching Chloe pack when Olivia walked in. "Chloe, do we live together, or are you still in the dorms?" I was thinking maybe we should get an apartment together near campus. You mentioned the other day how inconvenient the dorms are, right? A blush crept across Chloe's usually composed face. She quickly turned away, continuing to pack. "Let's talk about it later." Seeing her reaction, I felt a playful urge to tease her. Remembering how easily her ears turned red, I cupped her face, leaned in, and gave her a soft kiss on the cheek. "Let's decide in the next day or two." "Okay, what are you two doing?" Just then, Olivia burst through the door, her face dark with anger. Her expression was pure fury. I glanced at Chloe, confused, and saw that she looked just as upset, staring coldly at Olivia. "Chloe," Olivia hissed through gritted teeth. Sensing the tension, I stepped in front of Chloe protectively. "Do you need something from my girlfriend?" The moment I said it, I saw Olivia's face twist in a flash of anger. Chloe squeezed my hand and whispered, "I'll go talk to her outside. You wait here." Then she practically forced Olivia out of the room and shut the door. Through the closed door, I could only hear muffled, fragmented voices. "Chloe, are you insane? Have you forgotten about Ethan? You were the one who said it. You agreed to this. Fine, you win. You're clever. You can have Ethan. I just wonder what he'll think of you when he gets his memory back." I was frowning, trying to piece together their conversation when I heard the sharp sound of a slap from the hallway. They were actually fighting. By the time I burst out of the room, other people had already pulled them apart. I rushed to Chloe's side first, and after making sure she wasn't seriously hurt, I breathed a sigh of relief. Then I turned angrily to Olivia, who was slumped on the floor. Compared to Chloe, she looked much worse, with a nasty bruise on her forehead and a split, bleeding lip. "Olivia, I don't know what my girlfriend did to provoke you, but you're the one who came here looking for a fight. If this happens again, don't expect me to be polite. You said we were neighbors, which means our parents must know each other. You don't want to make things awkward for our families, do you? After I finished, Olivia looked up at me, her eyes wide with disbelief. Ethan, did you hit your head so hard you lost your mind? Open your eyes. Chloe was the one who hit me, and you're defending her. I frowned. For some reason, I detected a note of self-pity in her voice, and it sent a shiver down my spine. Fighting back a wave of revulsion, I glared at her. So what? Chloe is my girlfriend. Olivia was speechless. For some reason, she had the look of someone who had made their bed and now had to lie in it. Her face flushed red with anger. After a long moment, she spat out her words. Fine, Ethan. You just wait. You're going to regret this. By now, I could sense something was deeply wrong, but my gut reaction to her was pure disgust. Olivia stormed off, apparently not wanting to press the issue. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding and knelt down to check on Chloe. I cupped her face in my hands, examining her carefully. Only when I was sure she was okay did I relax. And you? Why'd you have to get into a fight with her? Chloe grabbed my wrist, her grip tight for a second before she quickly let go. She said something she shouldn't have. But you can't just hit her in public, I couldn't help saying. Chloe looked up at me, and for a reason I couldn't understand, a shadow passed over her eyes. I won't do it again, I quickly added. I don't mean you should just take it from her. I mean, next time we find a private place, throw a sack over her head, and teach her a lesson where no one can see. As I stumbled through my explanation, I heard Chloe let out a soft laugh. My eyes widened. I was completely captivated. The light in Chloe's eyes softened. She wrapped her arms around my neck, leaned in, and gently kissed the corner of my mouth. Okay, from now on, I'll listen to you. I spent the next few hours in a complete daze, following Chloe around as she took care of my discharge paperwork. I decided I'd never tease Chloe for being shy again. Turns out I was just as bad. Back at the dorm, my roommates were all worried. I told them I was fine, just dealing with some temporary memory loss. They were surprised, but they took in stride. My medical leave was up, so the next morning I had to go to my major classes. As soon as I walked into the classroom, I saw a familiar figure by the window and called out happily, Chloe. I said a quick word to my roommate and went to sit next to her. A few moments later, Olivia walked in. For some reason, she kept staring at Chloe and me. During the lecture, because of my amnesia, I had to keep leaning over to ask Chloe what was going on. Every time I leaned closer to her, I noticed Olivia's expression grow darker. I stopped looking at her. I didn't know why, but ever since I woke up, just seeing her made me feel uneasy. After class, Olivia came right up to me, blocking my way in the hall. She was with a guy, and they looked very close. When he saw me, the guy smiled and greeted me first. Ethan, long time no see. I frowned. For some reason, I had an instant dislike for him. Still, I replied politely, hey. The guy smiled at me. Olivia told me you were in an accident. Are you doing okay? Seeing that he was just being concerned, I pushed aside my discomfort and smiled. I'm fine. Just a little memory loss, but the doctor says it'll come back soon. Olivia gave a little laugh and leaned against the guy intimately, but her eyes never left my face. Mark, why are you talking to him so much? Oh, by the way, Ethan, your parents told me they want us to come home for the weekend. She stood in front of me, looking down at me with an arrogant air. But I'm sorry. I'm going to an art exhibit with Mark this weekend, so I won't be able to go with you. The guy she called Mark smiled slightly. His words were apologetic, but his eyes were gleaming with triumph. Sorry about that, man. Taking up Olivia's time. You don't mind, do you? I frowned and instinctively took a step back, putting some distance between us. Why would I mind? Olivia, you don't ever have to take me home. I'm perfectly capable of getting there myself. I won't be taking up any more of your time. Besides, if I need anything, I'll ask Chloe. Ethan, Olivia gritted her teeth, a flicker of irritation in her eyes. You're hanging around Chloe now. Do you actually think she likes you? I've been her roommate for 3 years, and I've never seen her like anyone. She hasn't dated at all in college. There's definitely something wrong with her. She's probably just using you. Her words made my stomach turn. I looked at her with disgust. What is wrong with you? Olivia just sneered. What? Did I strike a nerve? I think you'd better. Suddenly, a figure stepped in front of me, blocking my view of Olivia. Chloe's face was ice cold, her voice a low warning. Get lost. Olivia scoffed. Chloe, don't tell me you actually like Ethan. I never would have guessed. It's a shame you know better than anyone who he really loves. Her eyes darted between the two of us, and she smiled coldly. Ethan, I'll be waiting for you to come crawling back to me. I'd advise you to do it sooner rather than later, so you don't regret it. Olivia walked away without a backward glance. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got, and I yelled after her. If you've got issues, get some help. Stop messing with people, you psycho. I was fuming. I turned to Chloe and vented. Is she completely insane? But when my eyes met hers, I noticed she instinctively looked away. What's wrong, Chloe? I sensed something was off and asked gently. Chloe bit her lip, and in the next instant, she threw herself into my arms. I hugged her back, rubbing her back soothingly. What is it? Will you leave me? Her voice trembled. After you get your memory back. Why would I leave? I smiled. Don't worry. I felt her body relax in my arms. After that day, I noticed Chloe seemed on edge, and I figured she was feeling insecure, so I brought up the idea of moving in together again. She was against it at first, but I was persistent, and she finally relented. I was thrilled and immediately started dragging Chloe around to look at apartments. Chloe, that last place had great lighting, but it was on such a high floor. The one we saw yesterday was on the ground floor, which was convenient, but the rent was a little too steep. I felt torn. We were both students after all and had a lot to consider. Actually, Chloe bit her lip and looked at me. I have a condo near campus. My eyes widened. What? My parents bought it for me the year I got into college. I stood there stunned for a moment before saying with mock indignation, That's it. I'm done with you rich people. Chloe laughed softly. It's fine. What's mine is yours. It's always kept clean, so we could move in today. She paused, then added, If you don't mind, that is. I shook my head. Why would I mind? Then I'll help you pack up your stuff at the dorm, Chloe said quietly. Okay. As I was walking Chloe back to the dorms, my phone started ringing in my pocket. Hello. What's up, Mom? My mom's voice on the other end was urgent and worried. Honey, why didn't you tell us you were in a car accident? That's huge. We heard from a doctor that you lost your memory. Your father and I were worried sick. My heart sank. How could my parents possibly know? The answer came to me almost immediately. Who else could it be but Olivia? Mom, Dad, don't worry, I said, gritting my teeth before forcing my voice to sound calm. I'm really okay. The doctor said the memory loss is just temporary, so you don't have to. No more. Your father and I are already downstairs from your dorm. I don't care where you are. Get over here right now so we can see you. Hearing her words, I froze, phone in hand, and looked toward my dorm building. There they were, my parents loaded down with bags, and standing right next to them, smiling, was Olivia. Before I could even react, Olivia called out, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, Ethan's here. I exchanged a grave look with Chloe, sighed, and led her over to my parents. The second she saw us, my mom's eyes landed on Chloe. It was hard not to. She was tall and stunningly beautiful. Anyone would notice her standing next to me. Sweetheart, let me see you. My mom grabbed my arms and looked me over from head to toe. She only seemed to relax when she confirmed I was in one piece. Once she was satisfied I was okay, the complaint started. I asked you to come home with Olivia, and you didn't even respond. Did she have to beg you to finally show up? Finals are soon, right? As soon as they're over, you come home with Olivia. We and the Hamiltons want to take you too to look at houses. For a moment, I just stood there stunned. Houses? Yes. Haven't you been talking about marrying Olivia since you were kids? You've been together for 3 years. Your relationship is stable, and you're about to graduate. Your father, and I thought we should buy you a place now before the prices get any crazier. Wait. I was completely and utterly shocked. What did she mean? I've been talking about marrying Olivia since I was a kid. I was about to argue when an arm looped through mine. I turned my head and met Olivia's eyes, which were crinkled in a knowing smile. We know Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Don't you worry. We'll be home, and you don't need to worry about Ethan. After all, her eyes flashed. I'm his girlfriend. It's my job to take care of him. I stood frozen, my world tilting on its axis. In that instant, my parents' words, my roommate's reactions, Olivia's bizarre behavior, and Chloe's strange reactions all clicked into place. The answer was suddenly crystal clear. A sharp pain lanced through my head, and the missing memories came flooding back. I remembered Olivia, the woman I now felt a deep gut-level revulsion for, was in fact my girlfriend of 3 years, my childhood sweetheart of 10 years, the person I had loved more than anyone. And Chloe was just a classmate I barely knew. If she hadn't been Olivia's roommate, I probably would have never even noticed her. I stood there, my limbs turning to ice. I didn't need a mirror to know my face was completely drained of color. But when I looked at Chloe, I saw that she was the one who was truly ashen. Her clear eyes held an expression that was worse than despair. "Ethan, what's wrong? Are you not feeling well?" Olivia stepped to the side, deliberately blocking my view of Chloe. "Are you hungry? You haven't eaten, have you? Mr. and Mrs. Miller, you must be hungry too. Why don't we find a restaurant nearby?" My mom beamed at Olivia, looking incredibly pleased. "Yes, Olivia's right, Ethan. Whatever it is, it can wait. Let's get something to eat." Olivia's lips curved into a smile, but when she glanced at Chloe, her eyes were cold. "Thanks for walking him over, Chloe. We won't need you to look after our Ethan anymore. This is kind of a family thing, so it would be awkward for you to stay. We'll see you around. I'll buy you a coffee sometime." I stood there stunned as Chloe shot Olivia a brief, cool glance before turning and walking away. And Olivia, with a triumphant smirk, used the fact that my parents were there to start fawning all over me. "Mr. and Mrs. Miller, how about this restaurant? It's Ethan's favorite." My mom dragged me along. Even though the last thing I wanted was to have a meal with Olivia, I had no choice. I couldn't taste a single bite of the food. After dinner, my parents gave me a few last-minute instructions before catching their train home. They both had work and couldn't stay long, so they told Olivia to take good care of me. Olivia had been all smiles and promises, but as soon as my parents were gone, she turned to me with a smirk. "I told you you'd come back to me eventually." I scoffed. "Really? If my parents hadn't been here, do you think I would have sat through that dinner with you?" Olivia saw the loathing in my eyes and gritted her teeth. "Ethan, what is your problem? Did that accident really make you an idiot? I already told you. I'm your girlfriend. Chloe is a fake." My eyes were full of scorn. "Is that so? Weren't you the one in the hospital who pointed at Chloe and said she was my girlfriend?" Olivia ran a hand through her hair in frustration and clicked her tongue. "I had something to do that day and couldn't stay with you. I just said it offhandedly. How was I supposed to know you'd actually remember it? And then you spent all this time with that Chloe." Her face was a mask of jealousy. "You need to stay away from her. If it weren't for all this, I never would have realized she was so obsessed with you." Listening to her ramble on, I couldn't stop a sarcastic laugh from escaping. "Offhandedly? I don't think so." I looked at her coldly, took out my phone, and played the video I had downloaded from my email while we were at the restaurant. As the video played, I watched Olivia's body go rigid. When it was over, she looked up and managed a strained smile. "Baby, who sent you that video? Don't believe it?" I was drunk and just rambling. I put my phone away and looked at her calmly. "Olivia, do you know what happened? The day of my accident, I had just gotten that video. I was on my way to confront you. We've known each other for 10 years. I've loved you since we were kids, always following you around. After you told me you liked me too, all I wanted was to go to the same college, so we could always be together." I gave a bitter laugh. I was wrong. I was a fool to trust you, to trust what I thought we had. I just never imagined you saw my love as a cage. "No." Olivia's previous impatience vanished, replaced by panic. "Ethan, you've got your memory back, right? You remember how we used to be. I really do love you. Don't you remember? When we were 17, the day I told you how I felt, I swore I would love you forever." A wave of sadness washed over me. Of course I remembered. I remembered how much the 17-year-old Olivia had loved me. When I said yes, the joy in her eyes was overwhelming as she threw her arms around me. But as real as that young love was, her words in the karaoke bar were just as real now. I slowly shook my head. "It doesn't matter anymore, Olivia. Do you really think I can believe you now? On my way to find you that day, I had already made my decision. I'm setting you free. Olivia, your cage is gone forever. Let's just go our separate ways." I turned away, not wanting to speak to her anymore. My thoughts were already with someone else. Olivia completely panicked and grabbed my arm. Don't go, Ethan. You can't do this to me over a few stupid words. Her eyes were pleading. We were about to look at houses. We were going to get engaged. Your parents will only ever accept me as their daughter-in-law, and my parents have always treated you like their own son. We have too much history to just throw it away. I was wrong. You're not Cage. I was just confused. I pulled my arm away and looked at her, my expression unreadable. I'll explain things to my parents. Olivia, it's over. I turned again, and this time, I walked away without looking back, tuning out the sound of her calling my name. The number you have dialed is unavailable. Please try again later. I don't know how many times I tried, but Chloe's phone went straight to voicemail again. I sat on my bed, staring at the dark screen. The memories of the past month with Chloe swirled in my head, leaving me with a complicated mix of feelings. It would be ridiculous to say I'd fallen in love with her over a month-long misunderstanding. But the memories from that time were so vivid. The impulsive hug in the hospital hallway, the warmth of her lips when she kissed me, and the way she looked at me, her calm expression always failing to hide the love in her eyes. I couldn't just pretend none of it had happened. I started racking my brain, trying to remember if our paths had ever crossed before the accident. Unfortunately, my memory was terrible. I could barely remember what I'd had for lunch yesterday. Expecting myself to recall anything specific about Chloe from before was a long shot. But the look in her eyes that day, so full of pain and despair, had cast a shadow over my own heart. Chloe, where are you? I rolled over in bed, muttering to myself. Why wouldn't she pick up her phone? As I was tossing and turning, my roommate knocked on my bed frame. Ethan, he looked up at me, a troubled expression on his face. You might want to see this. He held up his phone, showing me a trending post on the campus message board. OMG, is that Chloe from the CS department? Is she drunk? The photo showed Chloe sitting alone by the campus lake, surrounded by empty beer bottles. In the blurry picture, her long hair was down, and she was just sitting there, staring blankly up at the moon. Wow, I have to say Chloe is gorgeous, even when she's drunk. What tragic beauty. Seriously, are you guys just going to stand around and watch? Is anyone nearby? Someone should go pull her away from the edge before she gets too drunk and falls in. My academic advisor will be having a heart attack right now. It's fine. The OP went and checked on her. Said she's still coherent and will be careful. I scrolled through the comments until a new one caught my eye. Looks like I'm the only one who knows why Chloe is so down. Spill the tea. I'm waiting. It's obviously because of a certain guy in her CS class whose name starts with an E. He was two-timing her. Having a childhood sweetheart wasn't enough. He had to go after our campus beauty, too. TSK. TSK. Yeah, that's what I heard, too. An upperclassman in their department told us. Seeing the comments devolve into rumors, I handed the phone back to my roommate. Ethan, don't let it get to you. We're on your side, man. My other roommates chimed in. There's obviously a good reason you broke up with Olivia. I pressed my lips together, a warm feeling spreading through my chest. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna go find Chloe. Can you cover for me with the RA? I jumped down from my bunk and headed for the lake. When I got to the lake, Chloe was still sitting by the water's edge, but she wasn't drinking anymore. Chloe, I called her name, and she turned to look at me. Ethan, she looked at me, her eyes hazy and unfocused from the alcohol. Is that you? Why did you drink so much? I sat down beside her, moving the last few unopened bottles out of her reach. That's enough, Chloe nodded, then shook her head. Her eyes stayed fixed on me, her expression a little vacant, and her voice was slower than usual. If I don't drink, it hurts. I couldn't help but ask, why does it hurt? Chloe lowered her gaze, took my hand, and placed it over her heart. It hurts right here. You don't want me anymore. It felt like a tiny needle pricking my heart. I felt a pang of guilt. Who said I don't want you? The alcohol had made Chloe much more talkative than usual. Because you love Olivia. I've liked you since freshman year, but you always loved Olivia. You never even saw me. This chance we had, I stole it. When you got your memory back, I knew you would hate me. Her voice trailed off as she spoke. As she spoke, fragments of memories started to surface. Freshman year, a quiet, beautiful girl with a nice voice had asked me to be her partner on the first day of class. I had told her I was partnering with my girlfriend. After that, at class events, dinners with Olivia's friends, in all our major classes, Chloe was always there. But because of Olivia, I had never noticed the way she was always looking at me. If it hadn't been for that video shattering the illusion of my relationship with Olivia and the bizarre lie that followed, Chloe would never have become my girlfriend. She probably would have kept her feelings a secret forever. My own eyes started to burn. Chloe, I broke up with Olivia. I know what she said at the karaoke bar. I'm not sure if I'm ready for a new relationship right now, but my memory is back and I don't hate you. Can you just give me a little time? After I spoke, I realized Chloe was staring at me, unblinking. In her eyes, I saw the reflection of the moon and a glimmer of hope. 1 year later, Chloe, over here. Hurry. I stood on the stairs of her new apartment building, waving to Chloe down on the sidewalk. You're almost there. Keep going. 3 months after graduation, I found a job in Portland and officially decided to move in with Chloe. For a while after that night, our relationship was in a strange, undefined place. Everyone assumed we were dating, but only the two of us knew we were in an awkward transition period. Though, to be honest, not dating Chloe felt exactly the same as dating her. I had the false rumors on a message board taken down, and I posted on Facebook that Olivia and I had broken up since plenty of people had been at the karaoke bar and heard what she said. It didn't take long for everyone to figure out the real reason we broke up. Olivia tried to talk to me a few times, but I ignored her. I heard later that she and Mark had a big falling out, but none of that had anything to do with me anymore. Because of my initial hesitation, I had first gotten my own rental near work. But it wasn't long before I gave in to Chloe's request to live together, which meant I had to move all my stuff again. Chloe didn't say anything, but the happy glint in her eyes gave her away. We got a lot to do today. We still have to be at the airport at 5 o'clock to pick up my parents, I said, carrying 2 boxes up the stairs next to her. We'll drop this stuff off, get cleaned up, and then head to the airport. Oh, right. I need to make myself presentable. First time meeting your parents as their future son-in-law. I can't mess this up. Chloe's lips curved into a smile. She stood on her toes and pressed a kiss to my lips. Don't worry, she said.